everybody. I'm Dr. Sai Rashmi Ramawat from usml.info. Today we have with us the very lovely Dr. Akash Gupta, and he's an emergency medicine applicant who matched into Trinity Health, Michigan. His year of graduation is 2022. He has one publication and he has also done USMLE tutoring. So I'm very happy to introduce him. So hi, Dr. Akash. How have you been?
Hello, everyone. First of all, thank you so much, Dr. Tato, for having me over here. So I'm doing pretty good for now, and I'm so happy that I matched into emergency medicine at Trinity Health, Livonia. So my journey, I believe it's a little bit, very different from the other people out there. So I started my journey in Caribbean. So I went to St. Lucia for my medical school, and then unfortunately I didn't have my visa, so I could go to US for my clinical rotations. So that's what a typical Caribbean grad do. They do their rotations in first and second year in the Caribbean, and then they do the third and fourth year, which is like clinical science in US. But unfortunately, I didn't have the US visa, so I did all my rotations in Jamaica, in University of West Indies. So so I had to focus on their exams as well. So I couldn't focus at USF at that time. Once I graduated, I started preparing for my step 2. I gave my step 2, then also I gave my step 3 as well. And fortunately, in the month of, I believe, around June, I got my US visa, and I only had 4 months of US clinical experience. But I believe that was enough to qualify the criteria for many programs. So generally, programs have like 3 months of clinical experience required. But thankfully, I qualified that bar. Many of them have more than 6 months and 1 year as well. Apart from that, I was working as a academic medical advisor, where I was teaching students for their step exams, both step 1 and step 2. And after that, I also worked on my research paper as well. And apart from that, a research rotation also I did, which was an online rotation. So I believe in my profile, I did little bit of everything. I think so. That's what I should say. So I wasn't a 260 guy, So I scored around average, which I believe was not bad. I didn't had any red flags like longer year of graduation or step attempt or very low scores. Like little bit of everything I did. I made sure that I had good SLOE, which is like standard letter of evaluation, which is the single most important thing in emergency medicine. So it's like if you don't have that, it's a very rare chance that you will match into emergency medicine. So that's how important the SLOE is. So it's very specific to emergency medicine. So regarding my passion of emergency medicine, I would like to say a little bit about that, how this emergency medicine journey started. So I did my first rotation in emergency medicine in Jamaica, which is in University of West Indies, and the experience was amazing. And I literally fell in love in that field, and I knew that okay, this is what I'm going to do throughout my life. And I believe my personality is also similar to a doc. It's like I can't stay still. I need something or the other just going on in my mind. It could be anything. I just can't. Even now also I'm just working on few projects. I know that this is the time of enjoyment once your residency is once you're going to start your residency, but it's just not me. I can't sit idle and just roam around and anything. I'm just currently working on few projects and all.
That's amazing, Akash. That's
I'm
amazing.
sorry, your video paused actually. Yeah.
No, that's amazing because you are talking about the traits of like emergency medicine doctor. So and you told us why you selected emergency medicine. So how different is it? As you said, there were some things that are different from like EM and IM applications. So do you think that there are any other pointers that you could give on that in the US?
No, actually, no. Actually, I'll tell you. So I did 2 rotations in family medicine. Okay. One was emergency medicine and the one was in urgent care. But the urgent care was under emergency medicine physician. So I got 2 SLOE from both the emergency medicine physicians.
SLOE
so I'll tell you, yeah. I'll tell you what exactly is SLOE and what exactly is LOR. So LOR is like a letter of, so it's letter of recommendation, right? Where the doctors write full paragraphs, how the candidate is, what he did, and what he was responsible for, and all those, right? So that is a letter of recommendation. In SLOE, it's like standard letter of evaluation, which is more of, if you have seen the mini CX form, which is required for ECFMG
Yes.
registration,
Mhm.
there are some pointers like from 1 to 5. So if the person was excellent in this, so he'll get 5 points. If he was able to communicate well with the patients, he gets 2 points. His knowledge is really good, so he get like 4 points or 5 points, whatever the preceptor gives him. So that is how the candidate is evaluated. So it's like a mini evaluation. Okay,
Okay.
slowly. And there are different types of slowy. So I'll just go into that for a few minutes.
Yeah.
So the most important slowy is slowy, E, and standard letter of evaluation. So that type of slowy is obtained from program which has a residence. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the thing is, I never had any E slowy because the place where I rotated, there was no
Mhm.
emergency medicine residency. But still, I was able to match in emergency medicine. But
Mhm.
definitely, if I would have got E slowy, I would have definitely got more number of interviews.
Okay.
So that is E slowy, and the normal slowy is the one which I got. It's like it's the place where there's no emergency medicine residency, and there's one more OSLOE, which is a letter of evaluation, which is written.
Sorry. Sorry. Yes, go
No,
ahead. Yeah, yeah,
no issues.
sorry.
Yeah, so OSLOE, yeah, no issues. So OSLOE is basically written by a physician who is not an emergency medicine physician. So it could be OBGYN, internal medicine, but a letter of evaluation, standard letter of evaluation. So that is OSLOE. So if you want to match in emergency medicine, I suggest that you have at least one SLOE. If you have E-SLOE, that is the best one. But have
Okay.
at least one SLOE. So for the safer side, I had two
Mm.
SLOE. And um, yes, and what other question you had
Yeah.
apart from the
Oh, no, no,
SLOE?
no. Do you have like, did you have anything like you said slowy and you talked very nicely about it? I was thinking, did you have any other different, differences between a regular application and your application, or is this just slowy?
Yeah, sure. I'll add some points to that. So, what happened when I first came to the United States? So I just had 4 months, right, for the application cycle,
Yeah.
and I knew that I want to be an emergency medicine physician. And when
Mm.
there are different consultancy firms, right? You speak to them, you for a profile review and all. And a few people were like, okay, it's not possible to be an emergency medicine physician. It's very difficult to get a residency over here,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
you don't have any US clinical experience now right now.
Yes.
Instead,
Mm-hmm.
focus on medicine.
Mm-hmm.
So that was their thing. So but I knew that I want to match into emergency medicine, and I had another route in mind, that if you apply to family medicine, you can do a fellowship in emergency medicine. So that was also a good option for me, and I opted for
Okay.
that, and that is why I applied. And that is why I applied for two specialties: emergency
Okay.
medicine, which was my main specialty, and family medicine as well. If I would have matched into family medicine, I would have done fellowship in emergency medicine. That was my ultimate goal at the end. So fortunately, I would ended up at 17 interviews, 1 7. I got 11 in emergency medicine and 6 in
Wow.
family medicine.
Okay. A bit
So
about this journey you had. Did you feel like, as you said, and you addressed very beautifully before, you said, you don't have stellar scores, you're not a 260, 270 guy. And there is a lot of like myth about, going into a particular specialty with like so much marks, and so much like publications and all of that. What would you say to such kind of people? Like, what would you tell them?
I would just tell them that you have to show interest
Hmm?
in the specialty which you are applying for as much as possible. For example, what I did, I'll say that related to emergency medicine. So I uploaded 4 letters of recommendation. All 4 were from emergency medicine physicians. So two
Okay.
slowly, as I
Okay.
mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
One was from research director, right? And the fourth one was home country, LOR, like where I did my rotation. Where I did my medical school in Jamaica.
Okay.
I got of the letter of recommendation from one of that preceptor, but she was an emergency medicine physician. So so uh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Go ahead.
Uh,
Yeah.
so I so I showed so much experience related to emergency medicine physician because I had all 4 letters related to the same specialty, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
apart from that, what happened in the month of June or July, I started emailing programs. This is what is program outreach, right? So I
Yes.
started emailing programs, and in your program, if there is any observership opportunity or any externship opportunity, I would like to have that. Okay.
Yes.
So, and I made sure that I have my IRA photo
Yes.
picture every email, so that they remember my face as well, my sorry, my ID as well. Okay.
Okay.
So that was program outreach, which I started doing it in the month of June, July, like when I was starting, just came to United States. So thankfully, that's how I got one research rotation in emergency medicine. So this program outreach really helps, and because you have to show interest in the field, right?
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
so when you say
Mhm.
that, okay, I'm interested in your program, and sorry, and be
That's okay.
specific
You
as
want to drink water?
possible.
You can drink water. You can drink water.
Sorry,
Yeah.
it's been a long time that I'm giving
Is
indulging
it
so
the
much.
PTSD hitting in as yet? The interview season and everything?
Well,
Because that's how
well,
it felt
no, my
like.
interview season went really well.
Really?
Yeah, my
17
interview season
interviews.
went
So
really well. So I don't have.
seven, yeah,
Yeah,
17 interviews. I must say, you
yeah,
must have been very
yeah,
like experienced by
yeah,
the end. So we'll
yeah,
ask you tips
yeah. So
also in
I
it.
believe. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead.
uh,
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So I was saying about the program outreach. So
Hmm.
you have to be as specific as possible.
Yes.
You can't send generic emails to the PDs, right? Because it's a dryer.
Oh.
Sorry. So and for a few of the emails, I got some good response that okay, we don't have an externship ownership, but we have noted down your name and we'll look at your profile during the interview season. And they did give me interviews. So
Wow.
that really helped me, right?
Wow.
So this is what a
Yes.
program outreach is. And
Yes.
you shouldn't sound I'm so sorry.
That's
You
okay.
shouldn't sound so fake, right? You have to be honest with them. Okay, why you are interested in this
Mm-hmm.
program, and what are you looking in the program? Okay, so that was one thing. And that program which I did. Second thing which I felt was good in my profile was my personal statement. I started that even during that time, started making it like in the month of July, August, and I made sure I get reviewed by journalists and the attending the positions.
Mm-hmm.
So my personal statement, I believe that was also good.
Okay.
I finished my step three as well. Step three, I don't think so created a really great impact, but even if it increases 1% chance as well, then why not give a shot? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so that's what my thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I did,
Mm-hmm.
and I went to CAP conference, which was held in Philadelphia. So that was a conference where many residency programs came, and it was a residency fair. Okay, so there I spoke to many program directors. I handed them my CV as well. And they some of them wrote my names as well. So that's how a residency fair works.
Okay.
So
Wow.
I believe networking is the most important thing than your 260s and 270s or anything.
Yes.
If you have strong networks, if you know how to connect with people,
Mm-hmm.
that will end up to interviews. Okay,
Yes.
if your overall profile is good, if your interviewing skills is good, then you are going to match. But more
Yes.
than your research papers, 2Cs, PS, ERA CV, networking
Mm-hmm.
is more important. So
Mm-hmm.
try to speak to different physicians out there in the United States. So that is very important. Another thing which I believe which was good in my CV, sorry, my overall profile was I believe I took too much extra step in whatever I want to achieve. So, for example, like emails, I believe by the end by this end of the season, I would have definitely sent around 1,500, 2,000 emails, just emails.
What?
All the
What?
programs I emailed, yeah, I emailed so many. I emailed so many programs, and it was like twice each program. So that is the extra thing which I did. I few of them I tried to connect through LinkedIn. So that's how I try to make some connections. You don't have to send same email like twice to each program after every other week. That's quite annoying. That it doesn't work like that way. You have to be patient. You shouldn't show too much enthusiasm. You should understand their time as well. You should understand that if you send too much of emails, even they would get frustrated. So you have to take care of that as well. And once my this thing was done, interview season was done by the Jan, I believe. In the month of February, I almost went to all the programs where
Mm-hmm.
I interviewed at. So I
Wow.
interviewed at 11 emergency medicine programs. I went to 9 of them. So few of
Wow.
them were second look, few of
Okay.
them were second look, and few of them were like, okay, I'm interested in doing observership. I am interested in a tour of the hospital. I want to know about the program. So that's what I did. So what I have heard from my mentors, from people, it's like you have to show genuine interest in the program. If
Yes.
see, because it's a two-way street, the applicant is trying to fit in the program, and even the residency programs also want to fill their spots, right?
Yes.
if they
Yes.
go if they go for unfilled spots, it's not good for the program. And they want to fill all the spots which they have. So
Mm-hmm.
even they are looking for candidates those are genuinely interested in the program, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's how it works. So you shouldn't I wouldn't say that you have to fake the interest to the program. You should show some genuine interest why you are interested in the program,
Mm-hmm.
and you should give some strong ties to the program. So that's how you do it. So yeah, that was very tiresome in the month of February. One day I was in Texas, the other day I was in Mississippi, the other day I was in Philadelphia. So that was very tiring for me. Like after 4 or 5 days, I used to see bed in front of me because it was flight bus continuously. So that's what I wanted to say. I did some extra efforts, even if there was 1% more chance in getting into residency, because I knew till September, whatever I'm done, like CV scores, I'm not going to change that, right? That
No.
whatever is
No.
done, it's done. I'm not going
Mm-hmm.
to change that. I can't increase the number of US clinical experience suddenly and show it on the CV,
Mm-hmm.
right? So,
Yeah.
so rather than that, I try to focus on what extra I can do to go
Mm-hmm.
at that level. So that's what my aim was, and I wanted to make sure that I match in emergency medicine itself. So that's whatever I could do. I tried to do it, and thankfully I matched.
Amazing about networking and how important networking is and how you networked and you gave your own tips. I love it. Akash, I love this discussion.
Thank
It
you.
is so good. It is
Thank you
so
so much.
useful to people because you know why? I sent out 300 emails and I was dead tired. I was like, nope, not doing this. I'm not getting any response. But I got one response like after a few
Yeah,
months. But people don't understand that.
yeah.
They want like immediate gratification. And your journey definitely talks about, a longer process of achieving what you wanted, but you got it in the end. You achieved your residency. I loved it. I loved it. So this is amazing. These are amazing points. Like genuinely, very amazing. So next thing is where
Thank
would
you so
you
much.
where would you think networking is most what is the best platform for networking?
Um, I believe in person is the best way. In
Okay.
person, nothing can beat that. So in person would be conference. That is the number one thing. You have to go to the residency fair conference, meet different program directors. You have to go there. Okay, so that is the number one thing I would say. Second way of networking could be, let's say, for example, rotations. You are doing some rotations in some of the hospitals. So I always suggest that try to do a rotation where there is a residency program over there.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
unfortunately, I didn't have that opportunity, because emergency medicine, it's that field where getting rotations itself in the United States is very, very, very difficult once you graduate. It's very
Hmm.
difficult. You won't get it.
Hmm.
So after so many tries, I got two of the rotation, and I got another rotation which was like around $4,500. So I was like, okay, no, that's a lot for one rotation. So I just opted out that one. But the other rotation which I did was quite reasonable, so I focused on that. So when you go to do rotations at that place, so try to connect with as many doctors over there as possible. You can ask your attending, hey, I'm interested in this program, do you know this person? You can put a word in, right? So that's how you try to network.
Hmm.
And so those are the, I believe, number most important two things: conferences and doing rotations and meeting as many physicians over there as possible. But if you are in India, or
Hmm.
sorry, if you are in some other place, right, if
Hmm.
you are not in States, so what are you
Hmm.
going to do? You have to do something, right? That's where you start sending cold emails. That's what I started to do when I was back in India. I started sending emails when before entering into the States, because I couldn't do anything, right? I was not in the States. So that's the best thing you could do. LinkedIn, email. 1% I believe would be the chance of getting a reply. Okay. So
Yeah.
so no, so I would say that is the least effective. This you go for email, LinkedIn, and um even this can help, like if you know some of the residents in that program.
Hmm.
So if you ask them, okay, can you put a word in, right? You might get an interview, right,
Hmm.
because of that. But of course, your overall profile also matters, I would say. So connections will only end up till interviews, but if you want to match your whole overall profile, your communication skills, your interviewing skills, that is very, very, very important to match.
Wow. Amazing.
So yeah, that's how I connect.
That is amazing. So even me, I personally like through networking, I got the rotations through networking. Like one, like I think I got two rotations through networking, which I didn't end up doing because I had to prepare for step 3. But um Like the thing is that if you do reach out to people, there are people who are going to help you, right? So that
Yes.
is, there are people who are like, even though you send out like, as you said, 1500 emails, and I was so shocked. I was like, how did you not get tired? But or how did you not lose hope? Because very
Yeah.
early on in this process, a lot of people lose hope. And they don't
Yeah.
want to, like, continue the journey, or their like, continue the USMLE, because of some factor that came in. Did you ever face challenges like that, where you were almost like, what, I want to give up, but no, I have to keep going? Or you always were like, I
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
do
of
this?
course. I believe everybody faces that, that's a part of the journey. I would just mention that there was two specialties, right? So EM and FM. So that is, I had to send so many emails. So if you have one specialty, the things becomes much easier, right? So that is why I ended up to so many emails. Otherwise, it would have been much lesser. So regarding the that I wanted to give up or anything like that, or any stressful thing. As I mentioned, that when I entered into the States, there was some negativity regarding the emergency medicine as a non-US IMG. That okay, it's difficult. With so less rotations, how you'll get it. With no rotation. When I came, I didn't have any rotations, right? And other after that, if you consider the data of emergency medicine, last year so many spots got unfilled, right? And so the last year was a really good year to match into emergency medicine.
Yes.
But this year, so everybody were like, okay, you should apply. You should apply to emergency medicine. Even people who are not interested in try to get into the system by applying into the emergency medicine. So what happened in the month of September? I got to see there is a 32% increase in the number of applications. So that was the major thing which I saw. Okay, so if there is a more number of applications, the competition increases, right? And the main problem was not the increase in number of IMGs. Main problem was the increase in the DOs, American DOs. So
Oh,
so of
okay.
that's pretty obvious that American MDs, like US MDs and US DOs, would be always preferred more than the IMGs,
Okay.
right? So that was the difficult thing to see, that okay, so many applications are there. But I believe my hard work, played a role in
Definitely.
all this. And
Hmm.
when so in 2 days, I ended up in 4 interviews. So I was like, okay, things went really well. So I was just shocked to see, okay, within 2 days, okay, how I got the four interviews. So yeah,
Hmm.
so that is the thing. That was the shocking part when I saw the so many number of applications, especially the DOs. The IMGs also increased. It went
Yeah.
up to, I guess, 600, I believe, and
Okay.
the percentage overall match for IMGs was around 4%.
Hmm.
So I believe, yeah, not bad number, I would say. So I think so 123 people matched, as far as I remember, in emergency medicine this year, as US, not IMGs in general, as a non-US IMG,
Wow,
means visa seeking
congratulations.
IMGs, 123.
Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
matching, on being one of those 123 people. It must feel really like, I mean, listening to it, I'm feeling really proud for you. Like, I'm really proud of you, to be honest. So coming
Thank you.
to the networking, how good do you think? And, when you wrote out your letters, how did you format it? Because a lot of people have questions on how to format a letter when you're reaching out to people. And as you said, you mentioned a very good point as well. You were like, put a photo in the end, and one like, even our previous like interviewees and like guests were like, you have to put the photo in the end so that they recognize you. So there are any tips on how to format it?
Yeah, sure. So there are a couple of things which I did while sending an email. So so in first paragraph will be the introductory part. Just don't write an whole essay while sending an email. It's quite frustrating to see read so many emails. Most of the PDs won't even read your emails, okay, because they get thousands of emails. Okay, so try to make as short as possible. 3 paragraphs is good enough. First paragraph should be your just short introduction. Second paragraph should be what why you're interested in the program. And third paragraph could be sorry, second paragraph could be your just strengths and what all things you did and why you're interested and all. And third paragraph could be what are you looking for the program, looking in the program. And in the end, you can just say that, okay, I'm looking for externship or observership or any research opportunity, right? So you can mention that. And at the end, make sure that you have your email ID, phone number, and if you have the so once you finish your application, you have the ID as well, right? The ERAS ID as well. You can mention that as well, and profile picture, that is also very important. And the thing which I didn't do, which is also important, is try to send an email through an official medical school website. For example, it should be your medical school email ID rather than personal one, like
Okay.
a normal Gmail, better than Gmail account. It's better to put us on our medical, any other professional email ID rather than the normal ones, because it's more likely to be seen. Try to avoid emails on Saturday, Sunday. Weekdays, morning time, high chance, around 8 a.m., 9 a.m. That's more chances to be read. And try to send to program coordinator. Make sure that you send it to PC program coordinator as well, because they are very very important people out there. Believe me, that's they are like managing everything over there. And like what I used to do, sending email to PD and CC program coordinator.
Yes. Oh my God. Very nicely said. And even our previous guest, Dr. Alam, also like ventured into this topic. He like also told about the photo and the picture, and you've given amazing points. So congratulations to both of you to actually give back to the community and to be really good like human beings. I really love that. So you
Time it takes for sending an email? 2 minutes, 3 minutes max,
right, yeah, and
right? So
mhm,
so I'm not sending you to send the 400, 500 emails on a single day, right? It's gonna take some time. You can take few weeks to send all the emails.
awesome.
So I believe um, already had that thing in the mind. As I said, getting into this specialty is difficult, right? But I couldn't imagine myself doing some other specialty, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I would say I wouldn't mind matching into family medicine, because I know that I can do a fellowship into emergency medicine, which is my ultimate goal. But ending up in some other specialty or ending up unmatched was, more painful to think about that rather than sending this image.
Awesome, 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 awesome. So now I remember like when I was like going through like Frida going to the website of the university, and I would include some specific points from like the website that was very unique to the program. Did you do anything like that by any chance? Like made an Excel sheet about what was specific to this program or anything?
Yeah, so the thing was, it's recommended to do that, but sorry, but unfortunately, I had a lot of things on my plate. I couldn't look into each program specifications.
Okay.
By sending an email, why I'm interested, I look little bit of it, but while applying to the specialty, I didn't make any sheets recommended. I say that it becomes much easier, when you apply, and after that as well, it becomes very much easier to look into the emails and all. So I would recommend that to do it. But if you don't have time, I mean, it's okay. You can just buy a subscription of there are many different third party apps which will show you what are the program requirements, whether you are excellent fit for that program. So there are many I would say different companies trying to sell those. So you can buy one of those and just try to apply into those specific programs.
Awesome. And as you said, did you ever send like, you said don't keep on sending. Have you sent an email like, which you were very interested in, like suppose you're interested in one hospital a lot. Have you ever again like re-emailed them when they didn't see your email the first time or anything of that? Or you would just be like, I'll wait patiently and it'll come back for the
It's generally
emergency
recommend that you can. Yeah,
Yeah, sorry.
it's generally recommend you can send after 2 weeks, but 2 weeks I felt was too much. So I sent after 4 weeks. So before the cycle, before September, I sent two emails. One in the month of, I believe, July,
Okay.
and one in the month of August, and something like that. So, no, sorry,
Awesome.
not August, and around mid September, or just before cycle. So two emails before the cycle. That's it.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Akash,
But of course, you have to make sure that you don't send to the emails to those programs that you already got a reply. So you have to be careful over there.
okay. Akash, just can you please join in back for another 15 minutes because it's the half an hour limit
Yeah,
is gone. Yeah. Thank you.
yeah. I went to so many programs. So I would say it doesn't create much difference regarding ranking. Let's say it's not like that. Okay, they rank you at, like, let's say 50th position, and okay, just because you went there and showed interest, okay, they will rank you like top 10. That doesn't work that way, right? So the advantages of going there is mainly for you to look at the program, and sometimes, I won't say always, but sometimes few programs might see that, okay, he's genuinely interested and, you know, can change the rank as well. I wouldn't say that all programs do it. There would be few programs who do it. So if I always that had one thing in my mind. Let's say if they do it, okay, they generally, all of the programs, they say that, okay, generally they already rank the programs before the second look, okay. But I was, back in my mind was always like, okay, what if there is just 1% of getting into that position? So I just took that chance and I just went there. So if you have some other work, so I would suggest, okay, to, go to the programs and all, because it's very tiresome and takes a lot of time. So yeah, rather than, focus on your application, your interviewing skills.
Awesome, awesome. Like very good points, Dr. Akash. Like very, very good. You talked about networking. You talked about how to send out an email, when to follow up with an email. I think I'm going to just label this video networking because it is amazing pointers on how to network and everything. And I initially wanted to concentrate on the fact that, despite having like, people have a lot of assumptions again on what should be, but and then they give up like in that process. So my this thing was to encourage all the people that listen, it's okay, it's fine, it's really good to like that you can apply even though you have like normal scores, normal like you don't have a lot of publications. I myself have only three, even doing pediatrics in India. So even though you have like
I
not
just had
like
one.
I just I just love how humble you are, but you have so much more to your CV than just that one thing. So it definitely compensates for everything else. So about the USMLE tutoring, how did you and when did you get into it? And how has it helped you in your journey?
Yeah, so I'll say that it really helped me in remembering the concepts, making the concepts very easy for the student, and I believe that also helped me, while explaining something to the patients as well. And I could, say all these things during my interview as well. So that is very important skill if you, can educate the patients. Okay, so I'll say how I started. So after my step one, after a week, I started preparing students for step one. After my step two, when my step two was done, I started teaching for both of them, step one and step two. So even though I hadn't had like very high, like 260s, 270s, but I believe that I had a decent score. And more than that, I was able to explain well to the students. Okay. So, and I made some few mnemonics and also that really helped the students, and they were quite happy with my teaching skills.
Hmm.
So, that also helped when I was doing my rotations, when I had to explain something to the patient. I believe it was very, easy for me to explain, okay, this is the condition you are having, and this is so and so you have to do in future. So, yeah, so that was my teaching journey. And, sometimes in interview, they also ask you, okay, teach me something. Could be medical or non-medical. So that also helps, in answering an interview question. So yeah,
Nice,
that's what about my teaching was.
nice, nice, nice. Akash, can you just slightly increase your brightness? Because I want you to be the star of this,
Yeah,
webinar, because you've given us
yeah,
such good
just
pointers.
yeah, just give me a second. Let me just switch on the lights. Give me a second. Is
Awesome.
this good enough?
Yes,
Yeah.
because you are the star of this webinar. Like I've interviewed people and I love interviewing with people, and you've put out points so diligently and so beautifully. I'm literally loving this because networking seems to be a very big issue, you know. And oh, sorry, you can continue with the
Yeah.
USMLE tutor thing. You can continue with the where did you find the position? How did you find the position? Because I wanted to do teaching after. I love teaching. I wanted to do teaching, but I couldn't find an opportunity to teach. So where do you find like
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
So actually, I started from a freelancing. So there are different websites where you can just make your profile, and you can just mention what are your charges and everything. You mentioned that. So there are many apps or so many websites which you will get, okay, that you are interested in teaching and everything. So if students like your profile, they are going to contact you, and that's how I started my teaching journey. And after that, I believe last year, I joined a company as well
okay.
which is responsible for teachings. They have this whole USMLE tutoring. So I joined that company, and I'm working as a medical tutor in that company. So that's how my teaching journey was.
Nice. You have to tell me later on which company is this, because I need to get on that, because I love teaching myself. So how,
Yeah.
what about these websites that you were talking? Do you think our viewers would find it helpful to find mentors over there?
I mean, if a candidate is trying to get a mentor, that's the what you're saying.
Yeah, like, like, even if they're preparing for the USMLE steps, it can, are these websites helpful, and what are these websites, so that, people can, like, go to those websites, search up people, and then, connect, like, or get tutored like that. Because again, also, I feel like there's a lot of gray area there, where there's a lot of, like, there are people that say they'll teach, but they don't teach. They, is it like, yeah, a bit more
Yeah.
about that.
So I started the website called Teacher On. Okay. So I always mentioned that okay, I'm going to give you a free trial. If you like it, then we are gonna we're gonna have further teaching. If you don't like it, okay, then yeah, you can seek some other tutors as well. So I had that thing in my mind that I'm gonna give a free trial to every student, whoever approaches me. So the website name was Teacher On.
Okay.
There are other websites like Fiverr is also there where you can upload your gig, which is it is called as GIG gig, and if the students like your profile, they're gonna contact you.
Wow. And this is
So,
all
so
for,
I
like,
use this
you.
too. Yeah,
Oh, sorry,
yeah,
sorry, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
yeah. So this is the only tool which I use, but I think so there might be some other website. And the company which I was talking about was that company approached me, I believe, through LinkedIn, and I said that yeah, yes, I'm interested, and then I started teaching students as well. I hope the light upstairs up there, it's not disturbed. I try to stop that.
Yeah, no, 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 no. It's good. It's good. Now we can clearly see your face, and everything is, it's better for sure, for sure. Because again, I didn't want to outshine you. This is your webinar. This is your platform where you can say anything. Because, and
Mm.
I'll just be asking questions on behalf of the students. So now, coming to so the USMLE tutoring, I'm definitely sure it helped you, and it helped you, like, make connections as well, and use those connections hopefully for your research, like, for your application. In your application, what do you think, besides your personal statements and your LORs, what were the experiences that you added as an emergency, like, you wanted to cater specifically to emergency medicine? What were the experiences, and how do you rank which is most meaningful, were, one among the, like, the three most meaningful ones among the 10?
Yeah. Yeah, so I wrote all my US clinical experiences, all the four. So we had only 10 experience, right, this year, which we
Yes.
have to mention. So all the
Hmm.
four goes over there.
Hmm.
One research rotation, which was an online research rotation, related to emergency medicine, that goes over there.
Okay.
Then I had two voluntary work.
Okay.
It was related to COVID, and there was some organization which I worked on that went over there, and my teaching went over there,
Hmm.
and my whole medical journey as a clinical experience went over there. So those were my major ones. And regarding the experience, I made sure that I choose one which is related to emergency medicine. So I wrote one of the rotation as one of my meaningful experience. So
Nice.
that is very important. Your meaningful experience should be related to that, to the specialty, right? And you should mention that okay, why that is meaningful experience.
Yes, because this time there were meaningful experiences, and I remember being very confused because I was like, everything is meaningful for me. What does meaningful mean? But it should be meaningful for your personality, catering to that speciality, as you said, very nicely put, very nicely put. I loved it. So now
Yeah.
coming to, we talked about a lot about networking, we talked about teaching, we talked about your USMLE tutor journey. And now we're talking about the ERAS application. What is the hardest thing that you think that you found in the ERAS application this year? Or the most
Just the
unique
ERAS
thing?
application or whole residency?
You can say both. I would love to hear
Okay,
both of the perspectives.
okay. So I'll just go for the ERAS CV. So I think so. The for ERAS CV, I believe the most difficult or most challenging, I would say, was choosing that 10. You have so
Okay.
many experience out there, but
Mhm.
you should know, like you have to, decide, make, informed decision. You have to speak to mentors and all those to know, okay, which 10 experience I should put. So that I believe that is the most, difficult part because I believe many people would be having more than 10 experiences, right?
Yes.
So getting those top 10, I think so that is the most difficult part. And in overall application, I believe getting email rotation. That was the most difficult part. And second, I should say, let's say in general, I should say making your personal statement was kind of difficult. So because if you see personal statement, it's new for the non-US IMGs. Okay, so the people from those who graduated from US medical schools, they already had this personal statement experience when they were entering into the medical school. So
Yes.
for the non-US IMGs, it's kind of a new experience, like what to write and all those. So that in general it's a little bit difficult, and it's the more important is that the personal statement should also sound very unique and should be up to the mark. Okay, you can't be very generic related to your personal statement. For example, every year I believe that PDs would read through the personal statement and would be like, okay, this I have read before, this is ChatGPT, this was written in this website and all those. Because if you have the same story, like for example solving puzzles in internal medicine, or being a family guy in family medicine, and all those basic stories which everybody has. So making that uniqueness into their personal statement was, I believe, was also challenging.
Wow. That's really nice. So you started your personal statement in June itself, as you said, right? June,
Yeah,
July?
mid June, July, I would say. I started there. It took a lot of time to create because personal statement also, making that is, it's a big task. You have to create a hook story. You have to make sure that your each paragraph is connected well, and you haven't regurgitated all your CV over there. So you have to keep everything there in mind, and it should just right. This is the main thing.
It should, yeah, you know what? As you said, all the points are so lovely because, personal statement, first of all, has to be like when I've edited personal statements as well. I've seen that people have added their most, when I read it completely, I'm like, oh, this is like, Pete's. But then when I talk to them, like on the phone, because I I talk on the phone because chatting is not so, feasible for me. But when I talk on the phone, they're like, I was applying for IM. And I was like, how did this come out to be IM? Because I read it from top to bottom. I was like, this is definitely Pete's. And if I was a Pete's PD, I would be
Right.
very impressed and I would take that person in. So it is something like that that has to be, first of all, specialty specific, experience, unique experience. I wouldn't say always unique, but something that caters to your personality as well. That it is a part of your personality. This is who you are. This is who you're trying to show who you are, right? And so again, next coming to, like you said about personal statements and how you showed people and how people mentored you. How do you actually find a mentor?
How helpful you said?
No, no, no. How do you find one? Like, how do you find a mentor?
Okay.
How do you network enough to find a mentor? And how many mentors did you have in your journey?
Okay, actually, the thing is, I was affiliated to like I bought a subscription of one of the companies. We have so many companies out there, right? So I don't
Yeah.
want to advertise any company right over
Yes.
here, but
Yes.
I believe that if you have that, there will be some advantage definitely, because they help you in your ERAC editing, PS editing, and interview preparation. So that was really helpful. So if even you can do everything on your own, but as I had very less time to figure it out by myself, I thought that okay, let's invest in this.
Mhm.
Rather than going unmatched and again spending so much of dollars. Thankfully, I matched on my first cycle itself. I have spent
Got
a
it.
lot in already in this in this cycle already, and I don't think so I had enough money left after my this cycle. so so I was like, okay, let's go full in and try to make good investments. So
Okay.
regarding how do you find mentors, I believe that you have to speak to your seniors, like any seniors and you should ask them, okay, that okay, to who was your mentor, and you have different different companies out there, right? So you can just have there's free profile review by most of the those
Yes.
companies, so you
Yes.
can have that
Mhm.
and get an idea, okay, how this company is, see their
Mhm.
success ratio. So
Mhm.
I believe that that will be helpful in finding mentors.
That is very nice. So, but if you had to go about it, because I know you have like a really like nice innovative brain with like very unique ideas. If you had to do it for free, like if you wanted to find a free mentor, where would you find one? And how would you find one if
LinkedIn,
in case
LinkedIn,
LinkedIn?
LinkedIn, Telegram groups. Yeah, I have seen people who are who genuinely give advice to the residents for free. Like, I won't say advice, but mentoring, I would say, regarding the ERAS, BPS, and everything. But I don't know how like I haven't had that experience, so I can't say that how beneficial it would be, because even they would be busy in their residency life, right? They would be also busy. So I'm sure how much they would be contributing it. But if you're tight on the budget, then definitely you can go through, those Telegram groups and LinkedIn to see um who are giving this free mentoring thing.
Okay.
But I believe
Uh,
there would be people who are doing that. I know that there are.
Yeah, that is an amazing answer. So like for me, my mentors were basically places that I rotated at. As you said, you form good connections with the places you rotated at, and then you find mentors over there. So even for my personal statement, like when I did my rotation, like I used to show all the residents, like I used to be like, hey, like whenever we used to have like, because we were like really, we became really good friends, like even with the specialty that
Mm,
I like, was doing rotating at, and the like, other like incoming residents. So you have to be friendly, you have to be approaching, you have to be, kind enough, and you have to be interactive. You have to, if you're an introvert, I'll tell you this: don't be an introvert. don't
yeah.
don't like be
In
in your shell.
yeah, in states you can't be like that. That it doesn't work. You have to network with people.
Yes,
Yes,
and
you
so
won't be expert in the starting, but you have to learn.
yes. And so that is what the USMLE journey is about, right? Learning, becoming a bit more of, a person who's more, I would say, kind, compassionate, empathetic, who gets along with people. So the thing with me, I would show them all of my, like I would be like, hey, do you have 10 minutes? And they would read the whole thing. And then they would be like, hey, this
Mhm.
is what I would like to change. And there were even residents who would be like, actively, they would text me. They'd be like, where is your PS come till now? Like, I haven't gotten message
Mm,
from you, Sai. Where has it come till now? And then I was like, oh yeah, yeah. And then I would start doing my PS, send it to them. They would edit it in the like Word doc and send it back. So I think
mm.
very important to build relationships, build like the connections where you're truly valued, right? Where you're truly
Oh,
valued as a human, as a friend, as a person. So very good insight on how to find mentors, Dr. Akash. And so any tips that you have for our listeners? Like just like any other tips.
yeah. So yeah, sure. So a couple of things I would like to say that number one thing, believe in yourself. I think so that is the most important tip which I can give to anyone out there. So there will be people who would be doubting you and would say that okay, this is not possible. You are non-US IMG or you are IMGs. Choose some other thing. But I would say that there is possibility. So and try to work hard and smart both, I would say, not just hard. Okay, and find some good mentors, because and especially in that particular field, that would be very helpful. So if you have that, you can save a lot of time. So that is a thing, and try to focus on your overall application, not just one particular thing. Like if you know that you are already scoring in 250s or 255, early 260, you don't have to study more to get into 270s. Okay, so that is not going to take you, give you more like 10 15 interviews, or even one or two interviews. So that is not going to help. So after 250s, 255, I believe the efforts won't create so much value. Okay, so
Yeah.
rather than that, try to focus on other things like your personal statement, your CV build up, connections, you know so overall applications should be much better than just one, but doing a really really good in one particular thing. So
Yes.
I have seen that some people have very high scores, and when they are interviewing, right, they are not able to speak properly. They are not able to convey their message properly, which is also very important when you are going to have so many events. Like there is a thing called as pre-interview meet, right? There is a resident social and all those. So you have to speak to people over there. And if you are going to be shy and if you are in your own bubble,
Yeah.
that's not going to help you. So be positive. Stay away from your comfort zone. I know it feels really good if you are in your comfort zone. So try to break that.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think that's everything is possible, I would say. Yeah.
Yes.
If you work really hard and smart for your dreams.
You have definitely worked very smart. Like I wouldn't have even thought of doing all those things that you did. But kudos to you. Amazing that you've taken the time, gone to different places, and you've actually sent out so many emails, which is like 1,500. And like I can't even start to comprehend how much, like as you said, it doesn't take much, but it takes a lot more of mental strength. You know, comparatively than
Yes.
are you actually doing it. It takes a lot more of mental strength. So congratulations, Dr. Akash. I'm very, very happy I got to talk to you. Honestly, very happy because
Thank
you've said what I wanted to say always. And as like a host, I can't say because it wouldn't it wouldn't be nice because the guest has to speak. You've said everything that I wanted to say. Amazing pointers. And so definitely so thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time. And you've been amazing, amazing. Thank you. And now we're going to end the webinar.
you so.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead. Sorry, just yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you so much for giving me an opportunity, and hopefully people do find this thing helpful. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, you can send me a LinkedIn message. I think so. You can search my name. So I'm my best to help as many people as possible. Before starting my residency, I have a lot of time, so definitely I'll try to answer as many messages as possible. Yeah, and hopefully the webinar is really helpful for you. And thank you so much, Dr. Rathore, for conducting this webinar, because it is really helpful for the people out there. And I know how challenging, frustrating, whatever verbs you want to use, it is when you start this residency journey. So this is a really amazing thing that you're doing, and best of luck to all the applicants out there. And just work hard, work smart, and just chill.
Awesome.
Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Akash. So now we're going to be ending it. We'll stay in touch on LinkedIn for sure. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye.
Yeah, bye.